about the Jets. You know what I'm saying? Town business. Let's talk about the Jets, man. We haven't listened. All you Jets haters and all you Jets fans, I know y'all wondering, like, yo, they talk about the Giants, they talk about the Knicks, they talk a little Mets, they talk a little Yanks, they talk around the league. When y'all gonna talk about the Jets? Here we are. We getting ready to talk about the Jets, man. They just got to camp. Hard knocks. We collectively didn't really want to talk too much Jets because the Jets are all over every national program. All you hear is Aaron Rodgers, Super Bowl or bust. It's crazy. Too much Jets talk, but the season's getting ready to start, so we got to talk a little bit of Jets. Q, I'm gonna go to you first. Your thoughts on the Jets, Aaron Rodgers, the defense coming back intact, the offensive line, the whole bit. What's your thoughts on the Jets this year? Do you think how good do you think the Jets are going to be this year?
In my opinion, I really think the Jets are going to make the playoffs, and I think they have the potential of being number one in that AFC. I think they can be better than the Bills. I think at this point that's their only other competition, unless Tua magically comes back and becomes some insane quarterback and whatever, because that's a scary team. Patriots are always going to be a decent team, but right now it's not looking. They're just rebuilding again and just staying in. They're just staying in the mix.
Nah, and, overrated coach. We'll get into that another time, but I agree. Patriots.
Yeah. So, but I think the Jets really have that. Look, how long have the Jets had this problem? No quarterback. They've always had a great defense. Always had a great defense. We took a couple of their defensive players.
Yes.
And it actually made us better after they played their best years with the Jets. That's crazy. And then the only thing I just find a little bit odd, man. Aaron Rodgers he's gonna excel. We already know what he can do, and he has another Jordy Nelson now. He has another Jordy Nelson. He has a Randall Cobb on his prime. Like, even though Randall Cobb's on the team, he is old. He just did that because he just has, now he's like a Tom Brady dude. He just want to get.
He's an emotional security blanket for him. Yeah, that's how I look at it.
And Cobb could show the young guys how to have the offense as well.
Yeah, Randall Cobb's a dinosaur.
And with saying that, he has a Garrett Wilson.
Yes,
Wilson, it's gonna be. I really have a lot of high hopes for this kid. I usually watch, a handful of games of the Jets, regardless, every year, man. Because I don't care what y'all say. I'm a diehard Giant fan, but I fuck with the Jets, yo. Anything New York, I fuck with. This is town business. That's my town.
Let's go.
Right? I don't have that hatred. Like, if I saw a Jets fan getting stomped out, man, I'm gonna stomp that dude, stomping him out.
Word up.
Unless it was a Giant fan. I'm just playing. But Aaron Rodgers, he's gonna have a lot of people to throw with. I don't like the move with Alan Lazard. I feel like he didn't really do enough with
Green Bay.
With Green Bay already. He already had him there. That's another comfortability. I'm not fond of that type of movement. But you know what? They had to please the new guy. They had to please him. I feel like Hardman, I think he might show out more this year. I think he's gonna be able, because I think he's gonna be able to show it. Only the reason because I feel like when Aaron Rodgers is in that pocket, and we obviously know his movement isn't as crazy, but now Patrick Mahomes had a million other dudes to throw it to. Mecole Hardman can run a really great route, and he catches that, he's gonna burn your ass. So I'm just really excited to see what this team can do, because I really feel like they can get to where they need to be.
I like it. Not to cut you off, I like your take on Mecole Hardman. I think he's gonna be up this year. You mentioned him with Patrick Mahomes. I think Mecole Hardman is going to be great for A-Rod, because I think he's a red zone guy. I think he stretches the defense horizontally in Hackett's West Coast offense, right? I think he not vertically. I think when you're in the red zone, everything is tight. But I think he stretches it horizontally, which is very important when you're in that tight space. Like I just said. I'm looking at his numbers real quick. 6 touchdowns in 8 games. Was banged up a little bit, but his last 3 games had 5 TDs. So you could tell he was getting on, starting the ball a little bit. He also might play some special teams as well. Not to cut you off, Q, my bad, but I had to chime in because I do like I'm big on McCall Hardman.
No, yeah, of course, because I felt like with him and Tyreek Hill, that was what a Jalen Waddle and a Tyreek Hill could have been. You know, I in my opinion.
Right.
They're both burners, but I really feel like McCall Hardman's gonna have a good year. And then they have a good running game. They got Breece Hall. You know, it's gonna be stacked. You know, it's gonna be fun. You know, I like watching when New York teams spend money and they just create a great team around them, and they already succeeded. They did well last year. They just didn't have a quarterback. They went through 3 quarterbacks. You know, and none of them really show improved. Now Aaron Rodgers gonna go in there and fuck shit up.
No, I agree, man. We're having a little technical difficulties with Ed. He'll be back in a second, but I'll give you my take before he gets back. I think the Jets, like you said, I think the Jets are gonna win that division. You know, Buffalo are no slouches. Miami, I'm a little bit higher on them than you. Not so much the Patriots. I like that 4-3 that the Jets won. Everyone talks about their defense last year. Some people think it was a little bit overrated. I don't think so. I think that defense was really good last year. Salah likes to run that 4-3. They got Carl Lawson back. A lot of people wasn't sure if he wanted to take the pay cut. They drafted this kid, Will McDonald, out of Iowa. He's going to be rushing off the edge. Quentin Williams got his bag, huge bag. So there's continuity in his defensive depth on the line. Obviously, the secondary was just locked down. The corners, tremendous, right? I think the corners were so good last year that I think that the Jets had issues defending the tight end, right? I'm just going to read off some stats real quick. And this is crazy because, like you said, I didn't watch a whole lot of Jets games. But when I did watch them, I did notice his gaping hole. The Jets allowed 61.1 yards per game to tight ends. That was 6th worst in NFL. They also ranked 5th worst with 5.5 receptions per game allowed to tight ends. And New York faced the 3rd most targets per game to tight ends with 7.8. That tells me that the secondary was so dominant that opposing teams tried to expose those safeties and linebackers. So I do think that's something that Salah and them have to address. They did cut safety LaMarcus Joyner, and they added Chuck Clark from Baltimore. I do believe that's an upgrade. Listen, Sauce and your boy DJ Reed, locked down, brother. Locked down. They were doing their thing, man. I think so yeah, listen, I think the Jets defense, is solid. I'm not worried about it. They were good against the run last year. Like I said, dominant against the pass. So I think, you know what? You know, I was thinking the other day too. Sauce and DJ Reed, man. They kind of remind me a little bit of Camardi and Revis. They're not. I don't think they're as good.
Yeah,
but,
I was good.
right. You know what I'm saying?
Say that, yeah. They're not as good, but they're not far below.
Yeah, yo,
not
like
far
I said,
below.
I move on to A-Rod real quick. A-Rod, supposedly had a bad year last year. I think there was a lot of reasons why A-Rod had a bad last year, man. I think he was hurt. I think he was unmotivated. I don't think he'll be unmotivated. I still think he has a chip. He's coming back with a chip on his shoulder. We all know how A-Rod plays when he has a chip on his shoulder. I think Nathaniel Hackett and then coming to the Jets is going to be great. Obviously, we know Aaron Rodgers last time seen with Nathaniel Hackett was tremendous. I think Nathaniel Hackett got a raw deal in Denver as the head coach, but I think he's a phenomenal OC. I like the style of offense he plays. Him and Emma Rodgers, the coordinator, I think they're going to do great. Garrett Wilson is amazing, like you mentioned before, Q. Randall Cobb. He has Lazar. I think Randall Cobb and Lazar is a good receiver. Not an incredible receiver, but he's a solid receiver. Garrett Wilson, obviously, is a baller. I would have loved to have seen Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore together, man. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
That was what I was looking forward to.
But, absolutely, man.
I think it's gonna be good. So
think about Garrett Wilson for a second. Offensive Rookie of the Year, 1,100 yards and 4 touchdowns with Zach Wilson throwing him the ball. Imagine what him and Aaron's going to do.
It wasn't even only just Zach Wilson. It was Zach Wilson.
Mike White.
And, Mike White and Mike White and it was Q and I think Ed threw a couple of passes to him too. And
another thing I want to say about the defense is, because I'm very high in the defense, I think that the defense will be even better because I just thought of this right now, because of Zach Wilson, so many 3-and-outs last year, right? The defense is laboring. They're constantly on the field with Aaron Rodgers on the field, converting those third downs, stretching out those drives, giving the defense a chance to rest. I think they're going to be even more crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely agree, because think about the Packers, man. The Packers didn't have a great defense last year. They didn't. Like, I felt like watching Aaron Rodgers play on the Packers last year, he was always playing from behind. And then playing from behind, what are you going to do? There's only so many screen passes, and then eventually you can't keep dumping it off to Aaron Jones.
I agree.
And then who are you going to throw it to? You can't throw it to Devontae Adams no more because he's not there.
I agree.
And who else did they have? That Alan Lazard. I'm not saying they're nobodies, but they weren't enough to get him where he needed to be in the Packers, and a lot of that had to do with the Packers, the way they did all their signings and the way they did their contract negotiations.
Right.
Like they overpaid for Aaron Jones. Let's keep it a buck. Aaron Rodgers just asked for a lot of money, and and Devontae Adams just wanted to dip. It would have been a totally different team with just one wide receiver, as crazy as it sounds. Because even if they play from behind, a playmaker's a playmaker. They're going to go out there and make plays. We can't really name anybody out there to make plays.
No,
on that offense.
Listen, I totally agree with that. Excuse me. I think, what do you think about a lot of people saying it's Super Bowl or bust with the Jets? I'm back and forth on it. I tend to agree, and I tend to be a little wishy-washy on it. I think it's Super Bowl or bust only from the standpoint that Aaron Rodgers brings pressure. Aaron Rodgers has showed up kind of small in a lot of these playoff games. We all know that. He only has one ring. It's from a while ago. I think that's, what was it? What year did he win the ring? Was
was 2004, I believe?
I think it was like
years.
It was after the Giants.
It was after the Giants, right?
Yeah, it was ages ago. In football terms. So I think that's kind of grandfathered in the pressure that the Jets are going to inherit from Aaron Rodgers. But I think, in my opinion, if they make, if they go deep into the playoffs, I think it would be a successful season. That's in my opinion. What do you think about that? Is a Super Bowl or bust with the Jets?
Nah, I totally disagree with that. I think last year it was just like find a quarterback or bust.
Yeah.
It was like that movie. What was it called? Mark Wahlberg or whatever, when he became like a Philadelphia Eagle and they had tryouts and like that. That's what the Jets is doing with quarterbacks. If they don't make it to the Super Bowl, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. What will be a failure though is they don't compete. If you start seeing them always playing from behind, that means the defense not doing what they need to do, which shouldn't. And if Aaron Rodgers is not scoring no touchdowns, this is what we need to see from the Jets. We need to see them average at least 24, 27 points a game.
I agree. I agree 100%.
And that's what we need to see them do that, because you got to remember they're going to play the Bills twice, the Patriots they're going to beat twice. Yeah. The Miami Dolphins, it can just go either way because that's an explosive offense. But I don't think it needs to be them going to the Super Bowl. I do see that Aaron Rodgers has 2 more years. After this year, he has 2 more years. Homie can still ball. He just was so unmotivated. Yo, let's be honest, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, what the hell is in Wisconsin, bro? Like, I don't even know why he stood there that long. Like, there's really nothing to do in Wisconsin, man. Like there's no town life. See, like, he might not be about that, but you know what? maybe coming over here and seeing these bright lights and all this, pressure and all this stuff.
He's outside. He's at the Knicks game. He's at concerts. He's embracing New York.
Man,
100%.
he might. I think that might just help him. I think that's gonna make him 100%. Play better. You know, 100%. Like and I really think that that's why I'm putting my I'm putting my thought into thinking that that's how far they're gonna go. But if they don't get there, but if they win at least 10, 11 games, I think they're gonna be perfectly fine. I think 10, 11 games is good, man, because it's a hard division, man. It's a hard division with a scary Miami Dolphin team and a Bills team that can win the Super Bowl any given year for probably the next couple of years, the next 3 years at least, I should say.
Yo, and I think we got Ed back. I think that
my fault. I had technical difficulties.
I think that Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett, I think that's comfortable for him. I definitely like that. But Ed, real quick, man, give me your thoughts on the Jets this year, man. What's your take on the Jets? How far you think they'll get? And
is it moves they made? Super Bowl or bust? You think
Well, I think it's Super Bowl or bust. For me, as a fan, I'm a big fan of the Jets. I love the Giants. I got my man Eli all day, Elisha Manning all day. But I feel like this year is Super Bowl or bust for the Jets. And I feel like, with the team that they got, everything they did, all the moves, Nathaniel Hackett back with Aaron Rodgers, Lazard, Cobb, you know what I mean? Y'all talked about Nicole Hardman. They got the pieces. Defense, they got an A1 defense, you know what I mean? Sauce Gardner was a defensive rookie of the year last year. Then you add Garrett Wilson, a new weapon for A-Rod. He was the offensive rookie. You know what I mean? I feel like the time is now for the Jets. It's been so many years since the Jets won the Super Bowl. They won Super Bowl 3. What was it? 68, 69? Time is now. The crazy thing is that even today, while we were setting up for the show, Rodgers took a pay cut, so you could tell he riding with the Jets right now. He flying with the Jets right now. So I'm hoping they make it to the Super Bowl. It's going to be a long, hard road because you got the Chiefs, you got the Bills, you got the Bengals. You know what I mean? There's so many other teams like Baltimore that are on the come up, Dolphins, et cetera, et cetera. Chargers, Jaguars. But I feel like the Jets got this. I feel like me just being optimistic. I feel like the Jets got this. They got enough. For Christ's sakes, they almost went to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row with Mark Sanchez at their quarterback. So why can't Aaron Rodgers turn around and take this team all the way, to the glory and get that Lombardi?
No, I agree, man. Like you mentioned, the schedule, man. The Jets have a crazy
they got one of the hardest schedules,
man. I think that was done on purpose. I was thinking about it. Did they do that to because Aaron Rodgers came over there? I mean, obviously they did it because of that, but did they do it to screw the Jets, so to speak, for lack of a better term? Or I believe they did it because ratings, man. You know what I mean? They're gonna get TV time. The Jets are gonna have mad national exposure this year, man. So it's very important that I'm trying to pull up their schedule, man. You have it in front of you at all? No,
yeah,
right?
I got you right now. So the first what? Do you want me to talk about the whole schedule or just
go to their like first? I think it's the first like 6 or 7 games are crazy. Go through the first.
So they got Bills. They got Bills week 1. They got the Cowboys. They got the Patriots. They got the Chiefs. They got the Broncos. They got the Eagles. They got the Giants.
Yo,
Chargers.
Hold on, stop right there. Yo, say that one more time. Say that one more time.
All right. So first test is the Bills. That's the legacy game. Boom.
Yeah.
They got that week 1 at MetLife. Then they go to Dallas, play Dallas. Then Patriots come to us. Then we go out to Kansas City and play the Chiefs. Then we go out to Denver, play the Broncos. Then we come back home, Eagles coming to town. And then we got the Chargers coming into town. Then we play the Raiders, the Bills, the Dolphins. Bro. You know what I mean? The easiest teams that I feel like they could beat right now in the schedule towards the end of the year is Falcons, the Texans, and the Commanders and the Browns. And not even the Browns because they're going to be on the up and up.
And Falcons, I think Falcons might be all right, man. Yeah, they got to. I tell you what, the Jets, in my opinion, have to win that division, man.
They got to.
They got to win that division.
It's do or die. It's do or die to win the division if they really want to, get over that hump and win that goddamn Super Bowl. That's eluded them for so long.
Yeah, but they should definitely beat the Patriots twice. They should definitely beat the Patriots twice. They should definitely beat the Raiders. That puts us at what 3?
The
Let's say even
Texans.
if and the Texans, the Commanders, and they split. Let's say they split the Bills and the Dolphins. Just thinking like thinking on a negative note. That puts them already at like 9 wins.
Yeah.
9 wins. Let's see how their true testament games is gonna be against the Chiefs. That's an away game against the Chiefs. And the Broncos. The only reason I say the Broncos because I think that's a bad team. I just feel like a lot of people just have a hard time. I think with that freaking, the altitude levels and all that shit going on, man. Like I feel like that's just like a demonic state to play in. They just put you in bad predicaments. Like, yeah, just run all day, but hey, you need an oxygen mask and shit.
Instead of demonic state.
Real quick, not to cut you off. A lot of boxers. Jamal Crawford was up there training, man, running in those mountains. So yeah, if you can get like you're well conditioned if you can get busy up in Denver. Anyway,
it's that thin air out there, man. Every pure athlete has always had a problem out there in Denver, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, whatever. Like they always have issues with that thin air out there in Colorado.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, if the Jets don't win, at least like I said, man, they don't win at least I think I said 10, 11 games, but it could potentially be 12. But
they got the offensive weapons. I mean, look at their wide receiving core. This is the best wide receiving core I've seen them had since the time we went to the AFC Championships. I mean, you got Wilson, you got Corey Davis, Hardman, Lazard, and Cobb. You know what I mean? Then you got the 2 tight ends, Uzoma. That's how you say his name, right?
Yeah, Uzoma. Yeah.
Uzoma, and then you got Conklin. I mean,
shout out to Jeremy Ruckert. I think he's gonna do his thing this year too.
There you go.
He's from Long Island, he's from New York.
There you go. There you go.
I got people who know him.
Yeah, like you was telling us last time. Hell yeah! Shout out to him, man. And then running back by committee, Breece Hall. If he come back, he gonna come back strong.
Michael Carter.
You got Michael Carter. You got Zonovan Knight, and then the rumors are still out there. They're still trying to reel in this kid, Dalvin Cook. So that's a 2-headed monster with him and.
I don't think they got the Dalvin Cook money though. We'll see though.
You never know.
I'm pretty sure Dalvin Cook is asking between he's probably asking somewhere in the price range of $16 to $20 million a year.
We'll see. But you like I was saying before, I had my technical difficulties. Aaron Rodgers took a pay cut, right? He took a $35 million pay cut. So maybe that could help bring Dalvin, over here.
Yeah.
He took a pay cut. What is he making?
Today he took a pay. Before I had the technical difficulties, as I was saying, he took a $35 million pay cut.
You said today?
Yeah, today, bro. I got the alert. He took a $35 million pay cut.
So they restructured his contract today?
Yes, sir.
Oh, look at him.
Mm-hmm. Yo, he was supposed to make $75 million and took a $35 million pay cut, bro.
Really? I didn't even know that.
He dedicated. He dedicated to win here in New York City with the Jets.
He's trying to be, and I didn't know that, but just everything else I saw him doing gave me a Tom Brady vibe.
Yeah,
he's bringing his homies in. He's trying to win. I can see the Jets winning the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Look, we all saw Tom Brady dip and leave, and look what team they put around him. It was insane, and he won one.
He already went to a team that just needed a quarterback. Because that team just needed a quarterback. I felt like they always had. The Bucs had a great D. They had a good wide receiving core. They added Fournette when Tom Brady came in and stuff like that.
Fournette.
Even when Stafford went to the Rams just needed a quarterback. You know what I mean? More people came on the defensive side, offensive side, and look what they did. Why can't Aaron Rodgers and the Jets do the same thing? Why? Because it's the Jets? I don't think so. I think the time is now, and they're gonna do it.
Yeah, I do. I just don't feel like if they lose and don't go to the Super Bowl, I won't be depressed. But if they do get far, I'm optimistic, and I think like you, I think they're gonna get first. I think they're gonna win the division, and I think if they do that and see what happens, in the playoffs, because they're gonna have to play. You have to play people that you got to understand too. A lot of his teammates never been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, true that.
He's gonna start playing players. He's gonna start facing teams that have multiple players, a large amount of players who are used to being in conference divisional finals or even Super Bowls when it comes to that. We know he is. We know how he's gonna perform. Because if he gets to the Super Bowl, we know he's going to perform. We just need what he needs to do now is be that leader and make sure that Breece Hall and his running backs, Garrett Wilson, McCall Hardman, McCall Hardman has already won one, so that he has that, he has that there, and I'm pretty, Al, he needs to make sure all these guys there, all these top defenders, all these guys getting paper, they all need to make sure that they perform from game 1 all the way to game 22 or something like that. I think 21 if they win the Super Bowl in February.
Yes, yeah, I agree 100%. And the thing, I don't know if y'all touched it on or touched on this subject. I obviously y'all mentioned Nathaniel Hackett. I don't know, a lot of people remember. Nathaniel Hackett was the old offensive coordinator for Green Bay the last time Aaron Rodgers won MVP. I think it was in 2001. Right. So that's a plus right there. That's a plus. So if you reunite with a guy who got you the MVP, why can't you go all the way to the Super Bowl and win it all? Everybody talking about, oh, he 39, he turning 40. So what? Tom Brady won the Super Bowl. His last Super Bowl, how old was he? Like 41, 42? Come on, man. Age is nothing but a number sometimes.
My bad. I was just looking up the shit. You good looking out. You gave me some game. I didn't even know he took a pay cut. I'm just off vacation, so I'm a little behind. But
it literally happened like a whole hour before we got on.
Yeah. That's what's up, though, man. That's dope. That's in the footsteps. That's Tom Brady-esque.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, so to speak.
That's how you
Matter
do
of fact,
it.
Let's take a shot for Aaron Rodgers taking the motherfucker.
I'm gonna take a swig of the Hennessy. I'm gonna skip the shot and take a swig because the technical difficulties got me so mad. Y'all should have. I cursed everybody out in Spanish. Not but I cursed out everybody.
It's all good. It's all good.
I put on cable. Y'all can suck my.
It happens.
You know what? Yeah, you already know I put on cable.
Yeah, sponsor us. Make sure it works.
Salud, Aaron Rodgers.
Salud, A-Rod.
Ooh.